Hi everybody, let's start our lesson today about the quadratic functions, and we will start by how to graph the quadratic function. So here in this parabola upward, y equals x squared, and the parabola downward, y equals negative x squared according to the coefficient of x squared. This graph called parabola, it has a vertex at the origin. The graph y equals ax squared and negative x squared are symmetric about y-axis. And now here also we have the parabola will opens upward if a greater than 0 and open downward when a less than 0. So it becomes wider or narrower according to the value of a. If the absolute value of a less than 1, it will be wider. If the absolute value of a greater than 1, it will be narrower. So also the x coordinate of the vertex called negative b over 2a. Negative b over 2a is the axis of symmetry of the graph. Y equals 2x squared minus 8x plus 6 is a graph of a function quadratic with a equals 2, b negative 8, and c 6. A is greater than 0, the parabola opens up, and the coordinate of x negative b over 2a equals negative 8 over double 2, which is 2, so the axis of symmetry is 2. And the y-coordinate of the axis of symmetry, when replace x by 2 here, y becomes negative 2. So we have now a vertex 2 and negative 2. The parabola here has a vertex 2 and negative 2. One point here called y-intercept, which is C, 0, 6, and the other point at the right of the axis of symmetry at x equals 2 called 4 and 6. Also, we have two roots, 1, 0 and 3, 0. So we can graph our function in no time. Here, another form for the function called the vertex form, ax minus h squared plus k. H is the axis of symmetry. K is the minimum or maximum peak point. So the vertex now becomes h and k. Here, how to graph the function? Y equals negative half. Here is a. X plus 3 squared. H is negative 3. And the plus 4 means k equals 4. The parabola here started by negative half, so a equals negative half means the parabola open downward. The vertex becomes here negative 3 and 4. Here is the vertex, here is the axis of symmetry of the graph, which is negative 3. Also we have a y-intercept here, the graph open downward, and the axis of symmetry, as we said, x equals negative 3. While viewing now the factorable form of the quadratic equation, y equals a into x minus d into x minus e. E and d are the x-intercepts of the parabola, and the axis of symmetry is the halfway between these 2 points. Let's see how. Now we have y equals negative, means a negative 1, into x plus 2 into x minus 4. It means like x plus 2 is a factor, x minus 2 is a factor, x equals negative 2 is a solution or x-intercept, x equals positive 4 is a solution or x-intercept also. Now, the axis of symmetry of this parabola in the halfway, the distance between negative 2 and positive 4. So the axis of symmetry at 1, cos 4 plus negative 2, yeah, positive 2 over 2 is 1. Here, if you replace x by 1 here in this equation or this function, so the peak point, the peak value will be 9 and the 0.19 called the vertex. How to rewrite the factor form into standard form? the factored form when multiplying the two binomials, and expand and distribute also -1 among the three terms or three monomials, it becomes -1x squared plus 5x plus 36. It means like 36 is the like y-intercept. Don't forget -4 and +9 are the roots. Negative b over 2a here becomes the axis of symmetry. Also, we can convert from the vertex form into the standard form by expanding x minus 1 all squared and distribute 3, then add 8 to 3. It becomes 3x squared minus 6x plus 11. Don't forget we expand well. Also, we distribute 3. We add 8 to the like term 3. Now, A3, it's upward. 11 here means the y-intercept is 0, 11. Negative 6 over double 3 becomes the axis of symmetry. While replacing, we can determine the peak or the minimum value. Now it's open. The upward, it means like its minimum value. Now, some real life problems. Here, researchers conducted an experiment to determine temperatures at which people feel comfortable. The percent of test subjects who felt comfortable at the temperature x in degrees Fahrenheit can be modeled by y is -3.678x squared plus 527.3x minus 18,807. This parabola or this graph or this quadratic drawn in the or written in the standard form. A is negative, downward, the y-intercept here. What is the temperature? Made the greatest percent of test subject comfortable. At what temperature, what percent felt comfortable? Okay, it means like, what is the temperature? X is the temperature. Greatest means the axis of symmetry, which is make the y at the peak. So please find negative b over 2a first. Negative b over 2a becomes positive 527 over double a becomes 72. 72 means like the temperature, the corresponding value of y here, we're going to replace x by 72 here in this function, so y becomes 92. So the temperature made the greatest percent of test is 72 degrees Fahrenheit. At what percent it is available? It is available at 92% of the subjects felt comfortable. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.